Practice doesn't make you better. It makes you more of what you already are. So if you're practicing wrong, you're actually reinforcing the problem. There's one mistake I see constantly, and it's costing golfers around 5 shots around. Once you see it, you won't practice the same way ever again. Quick question. How many of you feel like you practice a lot, but your scores don't reflect it? Drop me in the chat. Practice doesn't make you better. It makes you more consistent at whatever you're doing. If your practice is random, your game's going to be random. If your practice lacks feedback, your game lacks consistency. Most golfers aren't practicing wrong on purpose. They just don't have a system. So let's break this down one mistake that's costing you shots. The core mistake is random, repetitive practice without feedback. So, what does that look like? Just hitting ball after ball, switching clubs randomly, no target, no measurement, just feels like practice. It feels productive, but it's actually the problem. So, let's break it down into three sub mistakes. No intent. You're not actually trying to do anything specific, there's no plan at all. You don't have a reason to be doing what you're doing other than to play golf better, which that's fine, but you need to actually have intent. Are you trying to get better with wedges, long game, putting, whatever you're trying to do? No feedback. You don't know if it was a good shot or not. So on the range, and I've done this too, you see the ball go and you just, okay, that was fine, or okay, that was a slice. I have to fix that. If you're not actually tracking where the ball is going based on your target, that's not good. It's not helping you. And you're just going to say, oh, let me hit three more and see if I can do better. And there's no transfer, which we've talked about that before. You're not practicing anything that shows up on the course. So those things are things that I think can really help you learn to change. Now, with a lot of these, that's why I bought the Rapsodo MLM2 Pro and it's changed it because I can do all of those things. I can go to the driving range on it in my garage. I can take it with me to the range and I can play courses while I'm on the range. And it gives me all the data that I need. So let me know down in the comments. Let me know in the chat. Which one do you think you do the most? Type in one for no intent, two for no feedback, or three for no transfer. Let's see what everybody thinks. Now, why does this cost you 5 strokes? Let's break it down. We're going to make it real. This mistake leads to missed greens with strike inconsistency. You don't know where you're striking the ball. Poor distance control. You don't know how far it's going to go. You don't have that distance profile. And bad decisions under pressure. If you're not sure where the ball is going to go based on your swing, on your distances, under pressure, it's going to be worse. So, to break it down simply, you're probably going to lose at least 1 to 2 shots from bad contact, 1 to 2 shots because of distance control, and probably another shot or two just from decisions you make. That's 5 right there. And I think that there's more that you can take. This isn't a talent issue, it's just a preparation issue. I had another golfer that I know tell me recently, I'm practicing 3 or 4 times a week and my scores aren't changing. I'm not getting better. And honestly, I knew what the problem was. It wasn't his swing, it was how he was practicing. It's the one common mistake that I see all the time, and I've done it myself. And it's costing you those shots. Now, how do we go around fixing it? Honestly, just have a plan. Go into it and think. So with our full bag framework that we've been talking about the last couple weeks, it's really there's a lot to it, but it can also be very simple. Step 1, practice with intent. Every rep matters. What am I trying to improve right now? If you're struggling with your wedges, focus on them. Think about them. Don't necessarily worry as much about the driver. You can do that a different day. Practice with the intent, but also know that if you focus too much on one thing, the rest is going to fall apart. That's why when I practice, I like to hit driver, iron, wedge, driver, iron, wedge. I might hit 2 or 3 balls with a certain club just to not pick up and put back every single ball. But practice that way so you get used to not hitting the same ball every time. How many times do you go out on a course and hit the same club 20 times in a row unless it's a pitch and putt. You don't. Add feedback. Your ball flight, strike location, start line. If you're not measuring, you're guessing. Like I said, I've got the MLM2 Pro that does all of this for me, and I can go back later and look at it. You can get yours too, playbetter.com/golf reboot, or I can leave a link down below to get it directly from Rapsodo. With ball flight, you're watching it. If you're indoors, you're going to need something to simulate it for you. Strike location, if you don't have a launch monitor, you can do it with, athlete's foot spray. Spray it on there. When you hit the ball, you're going to see where it is. They also make things on Amazon you can get that are stickers that'll show you, but the foot spray is just as easy. And then start line, look and see where your club face is compared to the ball, compared to your target. Another thing you can do to make sure you're compressing the ball right or hitting the ball right is do the tape drill that we talk about all the time. Put tape just behind the ball. With an iron, you want to hit the ball first. That means you're not catching the tape. If you go too far behind the ball and bounce off a mat, you're going to end up hitting the tape and tearing it up. And step 3, train for transfer. Your practice has to look like it's the course. Just like I said before, simple as changing targets, changing clubs, and add pressure. So what does that mean? Okay, hit driver, one shot, 7-iron, wedge. Get within certain distances side to side of your targets, even distance wise, how far away you are dispersion wise. Adding pressure, that can be something when I'm working with my wedges. I really enjoy finding a target and seeing out of 10 shots how many times I can hit it. It's similar to with putting. If I'm putting, I'll take 5-footers and see how many times I can get close or 5-footers put it in. If I'm outside 10 feet, I try to put it within 2 to 3 feet. I add that pressure where if I don't do it, I have to start over. And it can get tiring, but you know what? That's how you're going to get better. There's a difference between range players and golfers who actually score. You need to connect it to your system. So your distance profile, if you don't practice with structure, your distances aren't going to be consistent. Distance profile we've talked about, it's basically like club gapping. It's knowing the profile of how far each club's going to go and your side to side distances, roll out, different things like that. If you know that for your whole bag, you can really lock things in. Distance trust gap. That's why you don't trust your numbers. If you hit a 7-iron, 140, but some days on a bad day, you hit it 120. And on a good day, you hit it 160. That's a 40-yard difference. On a golf course, that isn't good. That means you don't know where that ball is going to go. So what you want to do is get that distance trust gap down so that you can build the distance profile. If you're 40 yards difference, that means there's something going on in your swing that isn't letting you hit the ball the same way every time. Whether it's where you're standing, whether it's where you're making contact, whether it's your swing itself, whether you're thinking too much. All of this stuff is stuff to figure out while you're practicing, not when you're out on the course. And that's a huge place that I see problems with this. And then the fullback framework, it's what we've been talking about for weeks now. It's having issues here. That's why your game breaks down on the course. We're doing the fullback framework to try to take piece by piece and make you a better golfer. Now, you'll notice we haven't talked a lot about things like grip or swing or really getting into all of that stuff with the mechanics. And that stuff's important too. But what I want to do is get your head in the right spot, have you understanding. We can talk about all that stuff. There's tons of videos, not just from me, from other people, that'll get you in with that and help you to figure it out. And I'm more than willing to help you with it if you want. Let me know down below. But what I found is I began playing much better golf when I started actually looking at the decisions I was making. I'm not a pro. I'm not going to go between two trees that are 3 feet apart. I'm playing smarter. I'm playing more consistent, and I'm playing better. So what does your practice look like right now? I know a lot of people that I know just hit balls. If you're working on mechanics, you do it one time and then you stop. You don't consistently practice the same way. If you work on a mechanic, you need time to get it going. And a lot of times what happens if you change something in your swing, You may get worse before you get better, which is fine because you're fixing something. Your body's getting used to it. You can also play games out there. Like I said before, aim for a target, see how many times out of 10 you can hit it. With my Rapsodo, there's random target range, there's closest to the pin, there's different things like that I enjoy doing. So try different things like that. If you want to actually fix your golf game, make sure you subscribe. We're trying to help you get better. Next week, I'm going to start showing you all about distance profile so you know how far you actually hit every club in your bag and you can trust it. Stop practicing more, start practicing correctly.